You know, people say that terrorist organizations like ISIS are evil, but it's so easy to point the finger at them when we tend to ignore that we have done far worse things in America than they have. If you just look a little far back in our history, during an era known as Jim Crow, you can see that we have done far worse things to the African American community. Some 3,000 plus people lynched, tortured, killed, burned, castrated, hung, and shot. And all while it was happening, families were picnicking around the event, laughing happily, playing, drinking soda pop, all while horrific actions were being done. And then, when it was all over, many of the people who were at the event took pieces of the body home as a souvenir. Because, nothing says a good day like a severed finger or a chunk of flesh. Oh, but we have done that. We have done that many times, 3,000 plus times. As a matter of fact, in those 12 southern states where this all took place. Those states that wave the Confederate flag like it's an amazing part of their history. It's rather hilarious, the hypocrisy that they show, where they point the finger at ISIS for being evil, when they were once evil too. But they tend to forget that. They tend to forget it a lot. You see memorials of Confederate soldiers that fought and died in battles. There aren't memorials for people that were lynched wrongfully. People that were completely innocent, that were killed for the purpose of racial terrorism. It's so funny, communities basking in the horrific screams of the people that were tortured in those times. It wasn't just the KKK, it was the communities in those towns and cities where this took place. People tend to forget that. And in the process, we just point the fingers at other people who done the same thing as we did. Yes. I just wish people would think and go back to our history and look and say, wow, let's prevent this from happening. Instead of creating it in other areas of the world. Instead of bombing places across the oceans, we could be sending food to the people who need it. We could rebuild those societies, those communities, instead of destroy them. We keep spending more on military, and more, and yet things only get worse. The irony of it all.